Hello, my sewing friends. It's been a long week, but this is Friday Sews.
Woohoo!
I'm Jen, and this is my sewing room, and I'm back. I'm back from a trip to see my kids in Virginia. One of them is getting married. This is her dress, and that's why I went up there. Although, it was wonderful to see my grandson. He's 11 months old, had no idea who I was, just a strange woman who came in and wanted to hold him and kiss him, and I was like, ugh. But that's okay, because he did warm up to me, and it was wonderful. So I went up there to be able to make a skirt, an underskirt, out of a whole lot of organza, iridescent organza. I was going to go under the dress, under the skirt of the dress. This has 2 layers of mesh tulle. Well, it didn't work out that I ended up doing that. It didn't work out. I don't think I would have had time to do everything, but there are alterations to the dress that need to happen. And, you know, a lot of the time was spent working through what she wants exactly. And me thinking through how I'm going to accomplish that. And she doesn't want that skirt at all. And basically I'm going to have to take the skirt off and make a whole new one. So that'll be interesting. It's an expensive dress, and it's not $10,000 or anything like that, but it's not cheap. I mean, it's a pricey dress. So yeah, that is going to be quite an endeavor, and I was scared to death, but hearing her vision, it was like, okay, I can work through this in my head and I can make it happen. So that, after trying a few things out and realizing I need horsehair braid, wide horsehair braid to make it happen, then it was all good. And seeing everybody was just the best. Now I'm going to see all of them. Well, I'm not going to see Jenna. She and her fiance are it's her dress, and she and her fiance are going to his parents' house for Thanksgiving. But I'm going to see the rest of them, and I'm ready because little Munchkin's birthday is on Thanksgiving Day. Last year he was born the day before Thanksgiving. So anyway, okay, I have stories to tell you. While I was there, I went to Walmart looking for ways to stiffen the bottom of that organza, and I ran across a bundle, Walmart bundle. It was 2 yards for $4, and it's just a t-shirt knit, but I think it's going to be drapey enough, not too drapey, but drapey enough to be able to make a Harper cardigan. So I'm going to do that. And I still have what I think this was a Walmart bundle. It's a knit, and it's got this texture to it, and it's drapey, and I want a cardigan out of that too. But I'm playing around with a couple of cardigans. One is Vogue 1663. This is from 2019, so I doubt that it's still in the books. It's a Catherine Brenna pattern design, and I like this so much. I like those tucks in the back, and I don't know if that white knit is stiff enough for this. This calls for boiled wool and sweatshirt fleece, so something with some body. So I may have to make that out of something else, but I really like this because I like the shawl collar and those back tucks, so we'll see. And then I have Simplicity 8172, which I became aware of through Stephanie from Stephanie Farrell Focus. And she made this a couple of times, and it was just so cute. I bought the pattern because of her, so I want to try that out too. So I don't know if I'll do that with the white because I want a basic cardigan. Actually, I want basic cardigans out of both of those. I may just use the Harper. It's my go-to. I don't know. We'll see. So that's it. That's all the sewing. Not much. A lot of trying things out and working through the problem. Yeah. She's thinking that they will have a ceremony on Christmas Eve just with our family. Now, we always go to my parents' house on Christmas, and my parents are old enough now that they don't travel anymore. And so we thought it would be so beautiful if we could just go down to the pond and have a little ceremony. And so all I really need to do is get it to fit her before then. So that's good. Okay, so the big story that I have to tell you is trying to get home. Here's the thing. I had an additional suitcase because I brought this back with me. And So I flew Allegiant, which is great because it's nonstop, but they do not fly every day to the same destination. They fly, like they'll fly on a Thursday and a Saturday, but that's it. You can only fly those days, and you can only fly when they go, which is at one time. It's one flight. So that's the same with all of their destinations. You got to go when they're going. And so it's incredibly cheap, but they also nickel and dime you. So you pay for your bags, you pay for a checked bag, you pay for a carry-on. You don't pay for the thing that you can slide under your seat. But if you want a special seat, or any seat, really, any specific seat, not just one they assign to you, you have to pay for that too. Well, I have gotten old enough to where I want an exit row. So I had paid for the exit row seat, an additional checked bag. So I had 2 checked bags and a carry-on. So I'd pay for all that. I was totally fine with it because it's still cheaper than trying to fly one of the big airlines like Delta, American, United, that kind of thing. Okay, so I flew into Richmond, got there, it was great, and I went to go home yesterday, and I did not know this, but you have to be at the counter to check bags 45 minutes before the flight leaves because they close the counter. Like, they close it. Nobody is there. Now, okay, listen, I worked for Southwest back 20 years ago. I know how it works. There's always someone at the counter. Always. It's customer service. Yeah, that's what you do. Okay, I didn't realize this. So I came in and I had these 2 bags and I went to check them, but there was nobody there. So a woman walks out. She goes, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but we closed the counter 45 minutes ahead." Okay, the flight left at 8:58. I glanced down at my watch. It was 8:12. I had 1 minute before it was 45 minutes ahead, but they closed it early, so I couldn't check the bags. She said, "You're going to have to take them to the gate," which is a common thing. When they run out of overhead bin space, they often will check a carry-on bag, like a small suitcase, and you can pick it up when you get there. No problem. Well, I knew that there were things in these checked bags that would not make it through security, the TSA security checkpoint. I had bottles of things that were too big, and that's why I check these bags. Like, I'm not stupid. I know these won't make it. And so I told her that, and she said, "Well, I don't know what to tell you." And so I go through the TSA, and I knew they were going to pull this bag aside. I thought, it's fine. I know you're going to do it. It's totally fine. So the guy goes through, and he's going through, and I have this little bag that has all my sewing supplies in it. So he's pulling out the face wash and the mouthwash and the hair stuff and whatever. And I'm going, no problem. Just throw them away. I can always get more. And then he pulls out my Kai scissors. And I said, and then he pulls out the jar, like a mason jar of peach salsa that I had gotten at the apple orchard we visited for my husband. And I thought, no, you can't take my scissors. No, those are dressmaker shears. And I explained that, and he said, "No, sorry." So I said, "Well, I'm going to have to make other arrangements." So I knew I couldn't fly Allegiant. And the thing is, I didn't melt down at all. Like, who am I? I would have melted down. Like, there were too many things happening, and I thought, it's okay. I know how to roll with this. It's all right. I can get home. So I went up, and the guy escorted me out of security. So I went over and I got on my phone and booked a Southwest flight, but it was going to leave like not till 5 o'clock or 5:25, I think it was. And it was 9 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, well, okay, I'll just be here all day. Well, I went to check my bags, and they said, you can't do that until 4 hours before the flight. So that was fine. I had to wait till 1 o'clock. But the woman at the counter said, "Listen, that flight is already delayed 3 minutes." I thought, how do you know that? This flight doesn't leave for however many hours. And she said, if it gets later, maybe I can put you on an earlier flight. Now, the flight was going to connect through Atlanta. That was fine with me. So it ended up that the flight, she said, check back with me at 11 o'clock. So I went back at 11, and the flight had gotten more delayed, like up to about a half an hour I was going to leave. And I didn't want to run the risk that I would miss my connection out of Atlanta into Sarasota, because I didn't want to spend the night in Atlanta. I thought, no, I don't want to do that. So she put me on an earlier flight, which was great. But then that meant I had 7 hours in Atlanta. And my bags were checked on the later flight out of Atlanta. So I had 7 hours to go walk around the Atlanta airport. I can tell you where all the great stuff is, where the good food is, where the places to hang out are. it ended up being fine. So I didn't get home until I was supposed to get home at 11:30 in the morning. I got home at 12:30 at night. So I'm really tired today. So that is the story, the saga of travel adventures with Jen. It's always, interesting. There's always something going on. The thing is, I got exit row seats, all the flights. Yeah, I paid for upgraded boarding, but I was fine with that because we always use points to fly, so it's totally fine. So, okay, this week's question is, if you only had one pattern you could make for the rest of your life, what would it be? I don't have an actual pattern in mind, but I can tell you it would be a dress that has a bodice, a sleeve of some sort, and a skirt. It would be a separate bodice and skirt. So whether it was a dropped waist, at your waist, empire waist, something. And doesn't matter about the neckline, simple neckline. The reason I say that is because you can do a lot with that kind of a pattern. You can make the sleeves short, long, sleeveless. You can raise the waist, drop the waist, make the skirt full, make it a circle skirt, make it A-line, make whatever you want. The possibilities are endless. All manner of things. You can actually take a pattern like that and make a t-shirt or a skirt. I just think, give me a pattern like that. That's what I would want for the rest of my life. If I only could sew one thing, give me something that I can take the pieces from, or I can take the whole thing and do whatever I want. I think that would be great. Okay, I'm going to leave you with my little prayer card, which is from Matthew 5:16. Let your light shine before others. Yes, if you are a person that has a light inside of you because of the person that you are, gotta let it shine. Gotta bless those around you. Gotta put yourself in a position where God can use you to do amazing things, because He will. He will use you to bless others around you, to draw others to Him. That's one of the more profound scriptures that there is. Let your light be seen. Let your light shine. You are a city on the hill. Don't hide it under a lampshade. Don't hide. Let your light shine. Yeah, that's something I want to do every day. We all should. I'm going to leave it there, and I want you to know I thank you so much for watching, and please do subscribe. That puts this video as a suggested video to other people, and if they then choose to subscribe, it just pulls them into this FRIDAYSEWS community, which is so rich with amazing people. So there are 2 Facebook groups if you want to join those. There's one for creators, there's one for everybody. And I will link those in the description box below. And I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.